Ass, titties, ass and titties.
Hey everybody, and welcome to a brand spanking new episode of
It be like that, like that, like that. Doom, 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 doom.
what the hell is this now? 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Yeah.
Whatever
Oh.
German people, the spoke German people, Zarathustra or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah, the German.
Jesus, welcome to the Patrick is Dying episode.
The Germans, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, thank
Nobody
you for,
who speaks German could be evil.
Thank you for coming to Germany.
It stands for the Bard.
Oh, man.
That is a visual gag that will not work over here on an audio medium. So, we're here. It is Saturday, September 7th.
It's warm this morning.
It is
Or
warm
today, I
today.
should say.
It's supposed to be cooling down once again.
Yeah.
I think today it's going to be like in the 80s,
That's
maybe
what
78 right
Crystal
now.
was saying.
And then, by Wednesday it's going to be, Tuesday it's going to be 71. Ooh, next Sunday, 68 degrees.
Ooh.
Almost.
Maybe.
I bet you it's actually 69, but they never like to show 69 on these apps.
Yeah, you know.
So I'm just going to believe that's going to be 69.
It's going to be 69.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Giggity,
yeah.
giggity. All right. That deserves a... oops, not that one. That deserves a... for that 69 degrees.
Right?
So how have you been?
Oh, man. What a long-ass week. A long-ass week for a short week. Which, you know, I wasn't even supposed to be there on Tuesday. Well, I had asked for it off.
What, you
but
clerking it up?
yeah, I wasn't even supposed to be here today. Hold on.
There goes...
Sorry. Update real
peace.
quick. Jordan Love is believed to have suffered a non-season-ending MCL injury, expected to miss some time.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, that was as we're podcasting
breaking.
update news.
Yeah, because we were talking about it yesterday, and that would have been talked about in our football segment.
Yeah.
Because there's 2 games that have already happened, and we're back to football. Yay!
Yeah. Go Raiders. Anyway, so, what was I talking about? Oh, the week. So it was like, I had requested the Friday before Labor Day and the Tuesday after Labor Day off. And my supervisor's like, well, I can't be there. And you know it's going to be super busy because of having Monday off. And I was like, all right, fine, whatever, I'll go in. And actually, Tuesday wasn't really that bad. I did get a little frustrated and kind of snapped on my salesman. But it was more like not for something he did. It was more along the lines of something the customer pissed me off, and he was just...
He was collateral damage.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, like I shot the messenger basically. But other than that, it wasn't that bad.
He didn't shoot the sheriff.
But I shot the salesman. But yeah. But then, so we had an issue with one of our vans. Took it in to get looked at. They said it needed to be the balance was way off, and we had to rotate tires and do all this shit. I said, okay, do it. So then my driver the next day is like, man, it feels like anytime I go over 55, the back wants to, like, fishtail. Mm-hmm. So I had him, he wasn't that far from another driver, gave him the rest of his route. He went, because we went to Big O, a different Big O, and they're like, well, we're not, we're all different franchises. And I'm like, but if it's a safety thing, fix the fucking problem, which I'll get to in a sec. Fix the fucking problem, put it in the notes that they fucked up, and then I'll worry about fighting with them later. Like, oh, well, we don't want to touch it. Blah, 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 blah. So basically, as long as he stayed under 55, he was fine. So he drove it back up.
So he couldn't be Sammy Hagar over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he can't drive 655. You know
Yeah,
that.
he can't.
Yeah, there's no way that Sammy Hagar can do that.
But yeah, so he gets back up there. We come to find out this was my Wednesday. I think this was. Come to find out that they put the tire. So the tires in the front are skinnier than the tires that are in the back, and they put the smaller tires in the back and the bigger tires in the front. And the tires were almost said disinfected.
Like deflated? Deflated.
No.
Oh.
Defective. Defective.
Oh, the tires were defective.
Yeah. I guess they had a batch of these certain tires that were defective.
And they just happened to pull them out. We got to use them anyway.
Yeah, probably.
It's just like...
So I was told by the other
place. Unless somebody complains and doesn't really know about it.
Well, so I found that out from the other one. He said, we just recently got some of these that we found out that they're... But like I said, this was the other location.
Right, that's the other location.
They have nothing to do with the Newark location because they're all different owned franchises. So
I get it, but at the same time, they would have gotten the notifications to be like, hey, take these tires out of your inventory.
You would think, right? So, anyways, we ended up getting that fixed, but that fucked up the day because they were like, okay, well, we can get the better tires and all this other shit, but they won't be in until either the end of the day or the beginning of the morning the next day. And I said, okay, that's fine. He came back. I ended up having him after he took lunch, took like 3 deliveries to Santa Clara area. That I go, just keep it under 55. You're good, And because the one driver that he had to dump his route on ended up getting screwed up and wasn't able to come back till super late. The other driver that went to San Francisco we had a new spot that we're actually doing the install this Monday for. He's like, I can't find this place. And I'm like, let me look it up. Like, personally, I would have just fucking called the place, but,
right.
He called me.
But that's you.
Yeah, well, common sense. So he was trying to find his way back. GPS took him on a one-way road. You know how San Francisco is. Ended up putting him on the bridge. Treasure Island was shut down. So he had to go all the way to Oakland.
Then go all the way back.
Turn around, come all the way back.
But that still seems like a little ridiculous that you wouldn't be like, I know I need to stay in San Francisco, but it's a one-way street.
Well, this guy's... He was probably driving about a couple of years before he started working with us. And he's in his 50s, so... he just... Anyway, I'm not going to go there. Anyways... Like I said, I can see where the mistake was happening. You're following GPS. You don't know San Francisco. It told me to go this way. Right? Well, come to find out, our AR department put the fucking address in wrong.
Wonderful. So that's why you couldn't find the place.
Exactly. And that's why I put him on this wild goose chase. So I figured that out. I ended up getting it fixed. And so he now had to take lunch out on the road, and so he wasn't going to get back till super late. So luckily, like I said, the guy who has the fucked up van, I was able to get him to take, like, they were like right by each other in Santa Clara, like all these little spots. I took a delivery myself, and then one of my salesmen took one.
Took a delivery.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that kind of saved my day that day. So Thursday we...
Saved your bacon.
Yeah, exactly. So Thursday in the morning, we loaded up the driver, and they were supposed to call us when the tires are in, right? He just was, I'm going to call him. I'm like, all right. Because it was like almost 9 o'clock. And they opened at 8:30.
Mm-hmm.
All the tires were there, but they didn't call us. So... He drove down there, got the shit fixed, went on his merry way, and that was fine. Then Friday, my warehouse guy called out. He ended up in the hospital, in the ER. He was there like since 3 a.m. with an issue. Yeah. And so that just kind of fucked my... No, that sounded fucked up the way that came out. I give a shit more about him than the job. But it just happened to screw shit up for me yesterday, and he's not going to be there Monday. and I have this huge install that's going in. It's just gonna be fun. Like I'm my suffering part for work is one thing. I give way more shit about him and hope he's fine. So trust me, it's just I still got, but that shit still falls on me, and I still got to deal with it.
Well, you should do instead of handling with all this suffering.
Just quit, burn the place down, and
No. Oh. You need to do it for Byron.
I got to do it for Brian, Byron, fucking Byron, man. Poor bastard. Shout out to Terrible Terror's Twitch on the suffering. Do it for Byron. Like I never even met Byron.
Byron.
I only saw his dead body with all these green needles sticking out.
We're gonna get it for Byron. Don't forget about Byron. Like, what the fuck is Byron? Stop getting from my fucking shots.
Yeah, nothing better than when a guy gets in front of you. You shoot him because he walked in front of your gun, and then they go, watch it, bro. I'm going to have to fire on you. Like, bro, okay. I mean, like that's almost as bad as that time we were playing Halo, and Quentin walked in front of my gun and then tried to say I betrayed him.
Yeah.
I made a TikTok about that.
Yes, you did. Stop promoting your shit.
I just said I made a TikTok. I didn't say, hey, go to soul_64 on TikTok. I never said that.
Yes, you just did.
Just now, I'm explaining my point.
Oh, I made a TikTok on it.
Hey, I shouted your fucking Twitch channel.
Yeah, you did it, but I didn't. It's no self-promotion.
Oh, shit. Until the end of the podcast?
Until the end of the podcast, where we have plugs.
No. So, anyways, but yeah, so...
Plugging in America.
Other than that, I mean, I'll just mention this, even though we're going to talk about it a little bit later, but, watched the opening game Thursday night. Didn't watch last night because we went to the movies. Once again, we'll talk about that in a little bit. And I'm just looking forward to some football tomorrow.
Yep, which we'll be talking about that shortly as well. So...
I should pick something up and barbecue it. Well, of course, I'm going to be going to my parents, so...
Yeah, so it's probably not a good idea to be barbecuing stuff. You know what you should do, though? You should just get the stuff anyway, and then you should barbecue it in celebration of the Monday night game.
Oh, and just drop it off to you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Because you want to celebrate that game. That game's the best game of the week.
Well, Aaron Rodgers is going to win with a new team against you?
No, he's not. Hopefully he's not going to fuck up his leg. We'll see what happens.
We'll see.
I think they're back on Soldier Field again. I think it's in New Jersey. I don't think it's in Santa Clara.
Is it?
I have a feeling it is out there because that's what everybody seems to be saying. But
nope, Jets at San Francisco.
Oh, so they are going to be out here. Yeah, great.
Yep.
So,
but other than that,
if anybody has free tickets, I'm willing to go.
He's really to flash a moob.
I'm willing to show off ball cleavage in the stands.
Well, there you go. Speaking of flashing stuff.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, speaking of ball cleavage.
I got a message from Mary last night. Nice ass.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
When my brother-in-law, Angelo, and his girlfriend, Mary, were leaving the theater, I mooned them while we were still talking on the, outside of the theater. I mooned them, and so I got a message from my brother-in-law's girlfriend that I got a nice ass.
Well, there you go. Yeah. That means she wants you.
Yeah. She did say, and you have better guns than Brian. I don't know what he was talking about.
When I wasn't even talking about my guns. I was comparing you and Angelo.
I bet you could outlift his ass, too.
You sure?
Yeah.
See, then that would be the thing for Angelo to come, all right, here's the gym. I'll get you in there. Let's do this.
Let's go.
Instead of me saying you have weaker guns than him, and then you're like, well, where's your guns, bro? And I'm like, I'm not talking about my guns.
No. Well, then don't talk about my guns if you're not going to represent your guns.
Yeah, but I'm not trying to.
Yeah, you are.
No, I'm not.
Shit. I saw when we were at that Osprey concert, you were like, trying to flex up a little bit. Like, what's up, girl?
Yeah, because that's totally me. I'm such the big flexer that's out there and everything like that.
BK kick ass!
BK, don't play that! God, maybe I do take after Reyes's in that regard then.
Right? So how was your week?
It was fine. Had an interview on Thursday, which was good. But again, I'm still like in the back of my mind. So there's the first thing is I need a fucking job. So if I'm offered it and it's a good salary, I'll take it. And then the other part is that I'm gonna have to go to them and say that like I'm gonna take this job, but I'm gonna need at least 3 days soon because we're going up to Sacramento for Aftershock, and that's already paid. Everything's paid for, so I don't want to.
Well, if they tell you you have the job, but we can't give you the time.
So they could the way that they could do it is like you won't have the vacation time. Then it'd be like that's fine. I just will take 3 non-paid days.
Well, of course.
That's the way that I would do it. And the other one's a wedding, but I don't think I have the time. I have to double check on the time because it's on a Friday. But the way this place is, it's the times is 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., 2:30. So if it's an afternoon wedding, then it's no problem because I'll just come home, change, go. I don't need that day. But if they're like these people are trying to get married early in the day, like at noon, then I'd be like
on a
I need
Friday,
like a half day. But yeah, like that's what I said on a Friday. I'm pretty sure that the wedding's going to be at like 4.
I mean,
You know, when was Ben's wedding? 'Cause his was on a weekday too, wasn't it?
I don't think so.
I thought it was. It was like midday to late afternoon. Because I want to say that he was on a Friday too.
I don't think so.
I think so,
What-
but
what
I
did
don't
you
know. I know that's my kind of schedule. Earlier the better is what she said. That's what I said too, because I wouldn't really have to change anything. The only thing is that I would prefer, and even when they asked me about it, I'm like, well, in my last job, I said I was the early person at the job. I was there before anybody else got to the office, an hour to an hour and a half before everybody else.
Right.
So I'm like, I'm used to being early. I like to keep, I even told them, I said, kind of like to keep East Coast times. I said, otherwise, anything later than 8 o'clock to me is software hours where they don't show up till 10 a.m., But then they stay till like 6 or 7, which to me is just baffling. Like, you have a family. I don't care if you, get here at noon, but then you stay up all night or something like that? I don't fucking know. So, like the only thing that might be adjusted a little bit, or if anything, like stream times, if I do with the streaming stuff, be a little bit earlier so that way that I can get an hour before I go to bed, just to kind of wind down after things done. Yeah, one of the 2 dogs has really bad gas right now, and I'm assuming that it's Ace out of the 2, but because they're both here in the room and you just can't see them over there.
It was on a Friday.
Yeah, see? And I remembered it. I think I had to take like a half day or something, or I had to leave early to be at the wedding for that because it was like a midday. It was like an early afternoon thing.
I think I just took the day off because it was the third. It was the day after 4th, and 4th was on the Thursday. So I was like,
so you might as well just take the day off.
Yeah.
So, like I said, it's everything about it is fine. It's just that it's a little more of a sales job than I want it to be. Actually, it's a lot more of a sales job. Mm-hmm. And even when talking to them, I'm like, you guys put fulfillment in there. Makes me think that it's like an operational job, not a sales job. Well, sales fulfillment. I'm like, even you saying sales fulfillment to me still makes me think it's operations and not a sales job. Well, it's in the description. You read all the way through. I did, but I'm not going to argue this point with you.
Yeah.
I'm just not going to be that type of person. But overall, talking with her, it seems like, again, it's something that I can do, and it's something different than what I was doing. Mm-hmm. Maybe that'll revitalize my interest in certain things. And I'm going back to an industry that I do like to, which is food. So, like, I know a lot of the regulations and rules and things that had to go on there. And, it's different for, spices than it is for other things. But, like, it was funny having the operations, like, the COO walk me through a bunch of stuff there and then explain why he's doing stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I know, like, I'm not trying to be that guy, but like, I know what you're talking about and you don't have to explain it to me because I dealt with this stuff already, just not in the capacity that you're trying to hire me for.
Yeah.
So there was something else too that came through from a medical device company for inventory and warehousing stuff. And, so they wanted me to follow up on some questions and I sent them that, and then we'll see if I hear back from those guys. That would be a little more in line what I want to do in terms of that. But like I said, and the other thing about the sales thing is it like the one thing I didn't ask, which I should, like, is it a base salary plus commission or is it just a salary? Right? If it's just a salary, I don't see the bonus to it. But if it's a base salary plus commission, then maybe it would be worthwhile. You know, because you're trying to sell as much as you can. Because a lot of it seemed like they're trying to drum up business in some way, shape, or form, and maybe it's cold calling a bunch of old customers that haven't bought from them in a while and finding out, well, why haven't you bought from us?
Yeah.
What could we do that's different and stuff like that. The other thing that was, it's not annoying, but I was just like, so the third person that interviewed me, she's like the person that's in the job already, that they're going to be working in tandem with whomever they hire. And one, she was pretty cute. Two, she just had this like low-cut shirt with this thing, and she kept leaning over the desk, not on purposely, but then there's just like cleavage in front of you, and you're trying to be professional and interview, and I'm trying not to look at your boobs that are just like hanging out there. You know, they're just like pressed up and out, and I'm just like, oh God, you know, just try to look at her in the eyes, just the eyes, like it's gonna be, yeah, like we're going for all this stuff again, just back there. She was showing off. She wasn't showing off because I think she maybe noticed because she would like cover herself now and then. Yeah, there's those types of things, but like I was just like,
they're testing your sexual harassment right there.
It was like that Jordan Peele sketch where he's sitting there and the wife's talking, the sweat's just like falling off of his face and everything like that. But the good thing was the conversation between her and I was like very fluid and easy. Like I knew exactly what I wanted to ask her because she was in the job, right? And we ended up having a kind of a back and forth conversation rather than just a interview, which was good. So overall, you know, I hope that it's positive, and if it is, that's great because then it's work, and that's what I need. Yeah. So, you know, that's the way that it is. Other than that, like you said, played through The Suffering. Haven't played that game in fucking forever.
Yeah, I mean, neither.
And it was still good, but there are so many things that are annoying, partially because of how old the game is, and other parts because it was just annoying in the game.
Are you gonna go get it? You gotta go up there, man.
Oh my God, that was driving me
fucking
insane.
Go, aren't you?
Yeah. Why aren't you following? Let's go. Let's get on. And then he would run away to go attack some random monster that spawned, and I didn't even see where it fucking spawned, and he would just disappear, and then I'm sitting there waiting for him just until he fucking kills the guy. What you doing over? There's only 2 people in that whole game that you help that are helpful, and one is the guy at the very end of the game, Espranito, or where the fuck his name, the Mexican guy that's out there that's stuck in the island, and then the old man with the raft. That's because he has Molotovs and he just tosses them, and that's it. The other ones, fucking pointless. Especially the guy with the fucking TNT that was constantly throwing at me. They get mad at you when you hit them with something that you don't mean to because they step in your line of fire, or they're too close even though the splash shouldn't be hitting them, and it fucking hits them, and they get all pissed off at you, like you said earlier, and then they shoot at you. And then there's them that constantly shoot you, constantly throw shit at you, constantly they don't give a care for where the player is at. Like having like friendly fire on in this game, I know why they did it, because you can kill those guys to be evil Torque, and because the chat said be good Torque, I'm good Torque, you're evil Torque, you know. But having to do that stuff, so that was fun. And just you know, talking with our friend Andy, and he has some projects that he wants to do, which is interesting, and I need to really bunker down and do a couple things with those, especially I need to learn something from it. I don't want to say exactly what it is right now until we get closer to the actual time, but even he said he doesn't have a timetable, he's just doing it.
Well, when I talked to him the other day, he pretty much was like, all right, what he's going to start doing when he does his streams is just leave the Discord open. If people want to jump in and talk to him, then talk to him.
Then you just talk to his Discord.
So also I jumped in right away. Of course, I had issues right off the bat. Fucking microphone wouldn't connect. And so, like, I had to, to get it to work, my Yeti, I had to completely close out Discord and reopen it and then select it. It would not show up.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Was something else taking over the mic at the time, possibly?
The headphone thing.
That's probably why. Then.
But I mean, it wasn't even giving me the option to pick it.
That's weird.
Yeah, maybe because it opened before I had plugged it in. I don't know, but I've never had that problem before. But then I closed it out, plugged back in, and I was fine. But anyway, that's whatever.
That's here nor there.
Here nor
Then you could have
there.
knocked on his stream, and you could have been Mr. Andy with Souls_64.
I wasn't streaming yet at the time, so.
Well, you don't have to be streaming to say that you want to be included. You just have to be logged in your account in the knock button. Because I've seen other people that have been streaming that I'm like, we're mutual follows. You have to mutually follow each other, by the way. Yeah. And so we're mutual follows, and then that option pops up so that I can knock, even though I'm not actually streaming at the same time. It's weird. So, but it is what it is. But so, yeah, and then like you said, we went and saw Beetlejuice yesterday, which we'll talk about towards the end of the podcast, and just, working on all this other random stuff. Oh, yeah, that's right. I made a new song that specifically was for you.
No.
Yep. You can go look at my TikTok if you want to see the song, because that's where it's going to live.
You're not going to put all these on Spotify?
To do that, if I'm going to do it, it has to be, I have to go through a distribution company, and because of what I'm doing with Andy, I'm going to have to sign up for one anyway as an artist, because he wants to professionally release this stuff. Mm-hmm. And since he does, that means that I have to have an artist ID to be up on those things. So if I do that, then I probably will release some of this stuff up there on those channels. I just don't know, probably under the Terrible Terror name. Yeah. It'll be up there. So besides that, then it's just been podcast recording and all this other stuff. And, trying to flirt with people in random spaces. But, it's funny too, because of the one girl that I was telling you about last night, or a couple days ago, that's been in the streams and everything. She showed up on Thursday and was razzing me the entire fucking night too, during that thing. But like, she put up a post, I guess, in that app the other night about, it's just the two of us alone. And if I had looked at it last night, looked at the app, I probably would have saw it when she posted it and would have said something, but I still posted something. So like, if you're basically went and said, well, what do you want to do if you're just, if you don't want to be alone? Like, part of me is like kicking myself in the ass, because I probably could just be like, reach out to her and be like, hey, I'm probably dumb for waiting this long to say something, but hey, let's go hang out or something like that. I don't need to go bow chicka wow right now with everything. So she was showing off. I think that's from something else.
You can take her to a Starbucks and get her a Starbucks pumpkin spice and let her be basic.
Okay. Let's go get some Starbies. Then we get some chicken nuggies.
I hate that Starbies bullshit. It's one chick that I follow on Twitch said that the other day. Like, so I'm like, we can get Starbies. And I went, I got to unfollow her.
Wasn't the one that you rated earlier, was it?
Yeah.
It was. Yeah. She was talking about working at Tim Hortons earlier.
Oh, yeah?
I stayed on for a little bit and watched one of her matches that she was doing on Dead by Daylight.
So, when I rated her, I talked to her for a second, but then, like, not even 2 seconds later, my parents were there. So I just put her. I left it on. I just muted it, and they came over and talked for a little bit, and then they left.
I just lurked. I've been also to help that Killer Queen girl. Like, I see her on. I've just been lurking in the background of her stream.
Her mic and shit.
Yeah, there's things that. Well, I don't know what she's doing. She's streaming directly from a PlayStation. Whether it's a 4 or a 5, that's the way that she's doing it. But she doesn't like. The joy of doing it through a PC, doing your stream, not doing directly with the consoles, is that you can mute everybody else and talk to it, unless you're being forced to use Xbox Game Chat. If you're on an Xbox, it's different, but if you're playing from PC, it sucks because there's no way to mute it. Like, there is a mute button, but you got to open up a window, and then you have to somehow get your mouse over there to click on the button. There is no like Discord. Literally, this button right here is my mute button for Discord. I'm in the middle of playing a game. Chat says something I want to talk to chat. Hit the button, mutes everybody on Discord. I talk to chat, unhit it, and then I talk to everybody else. So like, that's why I prefer Discord. If Microsoft had something like that, like had the ability for me to put a button, I wouldn't give a shit. And that's the other reason why, like, I don't like streaming Call of Duty and stuff. Like, you know, like Thursday, for example, I probably could have joined you guys and we could have done a stream. You know, the three of us and Quentin and played Warzone. But I have to be on game bar, and I can't easily pause it if there is somebody that is not a part of your guys' chat that is in mine specifically to like talk to them.
Yeah.
So, like, which is it again? It's fine. You know, it's not a big thing. Your Neo going. But we also that was the other thing that we did. Speaking of which, we played the Call of Duty 6 Modern Warfare or the Black Ops 6 beta.
Yeah.
So, what are your thoughts? I'm just curious. Like, this is a free space, Patrick. You can say whatever you want.
Well, I would say whatever I want anyways. I'm having fun with it. I mean, some of the jumping crap I'm not a fan of. The diving. I like the sliding, that stuff. But some of the diving shit that people are figuring out how to do, which I've already seen people talking about how they're trying to work on stopping it, like this slide, bounce backward, leapfrog crap.
Mm-hmm.
Because I saw that before. I don't know if you sent me the video or
I think
if
Josh sent it because I think he sent it to me too.
I think I actually came across it and he sent it to me, but I had seen that when we were playing, and I was like, I'm right here, boo boo boo. And all of a sudden he said and I didn't get it, but I don't know. Overall, I'm having fun with it. I think it's not bad.
I for it being on Game Pass, it's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Right? And the thing is, I don't think that the time to kill is bad. I don't. It's not. I feel like it's longer in Warzone, like what we were playing today.
Mm-hmm.
Like that time to kill felt really, but it's also probably the guns that we have too, because they're not completely, meta. Worked up and all that stuff and part of the meta and don't melt. But that's what it becomes in like doing standard, not hardcore deathmatch in those Black Ops games, right? Is that if you play that and you have a well-built gun, then it doesn't matter what your time to kill is because it's pretty quick. And I feel like overall, it's relatively quick, okay? So I don't have to, hold the button down to kill somebody. But at the same time, like, and I think I was talking to Crystal about it. Like, my reflexes aren't what they used to be, right? I'm an older guy. I'm almost, next year I'll be 45. And, like, playing hardcore is that if you get the jump on me, I'm just dead. There's no way. Like, I'm not winning a gunfight, right? Whereas what we were playing these within the beta, which isn't hardcore, I have been winning a majority of my gunfights, and, like, you can see the kills that are there, like, been able to be on the top because we're not playing hardcore. Once we go to hardcore, I'm not doing well. I just know it because I am going to get just one shot. And to me, like, it sometimes is not terribly fun unless we do things like domination and hard point and protect the president, also known as kill shot. Like, if you do those things, I think then it'd be fine to me. It'd be fine. But if we just stay to TDM, like, that'll probably make me not like it as much. But unless I go back and play my own multiplayer, which will be the regular multiplayer with everything that's down. So, but I think the movement is cool. I think the movement really works well. The sliding, and I could even see some people in Warzone today have been playing that because they're trying to move like they did in the beta.
In the beta.
Like, I saw some hopping thing, and I'm just like, dude was just like boom, 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 like jumping. Like, I was like, why the fuck are you doing that? And I killed him right away.
Yeah.
It's just funny. Let's see. She needs help talking to her audience too, but I know she's shy. She's talking about Killer Queen. So yeah, she just needs to, because I came in yesterday and said hi and talked to her for a bit, but she's like, oh, thank you for watching. She reminds me of somebody though. Like, she reminds me of this girl from Arizona that is friends with the guys from the BTV
Reminds me of this
cast.
girl I used to know.
But I think it's fun. I think it's been fun. I think it feels definitely more arcadey. The only thing I know that I'm never really gonna do is get like big kill streaks unless I have like a really good game. Like,
Neither am I.
I'll hit the UAV. That's about it.
I gotta change mine to the UAV instead of that pulse thing.
Oh, instead of the local thing. Yeah, mine. I think on the beta it's like UAV, the Hellfire, and the only time that I was able to actually get all three was that one time we played Kill Order, and that was the guy, and nobody could find me for most of the match. I did not get killed, so I got all the kill streaks, and I was like, well, I got all the kill streaks. But then you looked at my kills at the end, even though it was like top 3, it was like 10 kills because I just wasn't doing anything. I was just hiding most of the time. So it's fun. She lives in Los Angeles. Ah, I see, said the blind man. He's picked up his hammer and saw.
Stupid.
So let's get into everything that we're going to get into for the podcast, as we've already wasted our time in the beginning talking about ourselves. But hey, so we're going to do some stories, and we're going to talk, of course, about the NFL and week number 1. Now, 2 games have already happened so far in the NFL.
I love how I'm cool. I'm fine as soon as I get here. Like
I know the moment that you get on the podcast bores you or some shit.
No, that's definitely not.
Either that or it's just too warm up here.
I think that's what it is.
Part of it's being warm. So 2 games already happened. We had Baltimore at Kansas City, and Kansas City won that
close one.
They both were close. They were only decided. That game was decided by 7 points, and then the other game was decided by 6 points. So and that one happened to be in Brazil as well. And that was Green Bay at Philadelphia.
Brazil.
And the Kansas City game, that was super, super close into it being a touchdown. I feel like it should have been a touchdown after watching a couple of the replays and everything like that. They could have just gone that way, but no. It really feels
the way they you got a socket on the floor.
It probably got knocked by one of the cats.
The way they were calling a bunch of these calls for the Chiefs and not against them doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, well, they're the baby of the league right now. They are the New England Patriots of the league currently. So it was, again, I didn't get to see all of it. I saw most of the first half, and then I went and did my stream. I know you went and did your stream and everything like that.
Well, I had it up on one of the extra screens.
I just couldn't and look at chat at the same time because I'm not using my TV as a monitor. I'm using my monitor as a monitor. And then, of course, you said we had Green Bay at Philadelphia and Brazil, and that one, Philadelphia won. I'd pick Green Bay because I thought that, without Kelsey there anymore,
I thought
the brother.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying we didn't give who we picked for the first one.
Oh, I thought that I picked Baltimore.
Well, so did I.
Yeah, we both had picked Baltimore, and then I had picked Green Bay. He had picked Philadelphia, so he's up 1 game on me right now. But I thought that Green Bay had a chance. Once again, I don't know how that offensive line for Philadelphia is going to be. And especially if after watching some of the highlights, like Jordan Love fucked up. Not Jordan Love. I'm sorry. Hurts fucked up.
Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts fucked up a bunch in the beginning. He had a blatant fumble where it hit him in the chest and it just rolled out. He threw a couple picks early on. I'm not saying that he's a bad quarterback because he's not, but it looked messy. And again, I think you have a new guy at center so that you don't have Kelsey there anymore. And, I don't know what they're going to be like. And that's why, how could you pick the Packers? I'm like, they lost by 6 points or 5 points. They didn't lose by
they get blown
15.
Out. Yeah. And
they could have won it. And I bet you if Love hadn't got hurt at the end of the game, maybe they would have had a Hail Mary chance at the end of the game to do it. Yeah. So who knows? But that was it. So now we got the rest of the week. We got the rest of the games that are happening tomorrow and on Monday. So the first game up tomorrow is going to be the Steelers, Pittsburgh against Atlanta.
I am going with the Dirty Birds.
I am also going with Atlanta for this. My first week looks really basic. You got Arizona at Buffalo.
Buffalo.
I'm going with Buffalo as well. I don't think Arizona is going to be that hot to trot. Tennessee at Chicago.
Even though I think he's going to be a bust, I'm going with Chicago.
I think I'm going with Chicago on that one as well. You got the Patriots going into Cincinnati.
Going with the Bengals.
Yep, going with the Bengals as well. I don't think New England's going to do much of anything this year,
to
be honest with you. You got Houston going to Indy.
This one, I had to put some thought into this one, but I went with Houston.
I went with Houston as well. I think we're gonna have to see. Does C.J. Stroud have the sophomore slump?
Hope not. I got him
hope
in 2 fantasy leagues.
You got Jacksonville going into Miami.
I went with Miami.
How do you say that line?
Welcome to I'm Benito. I'm Biani.
There you go. I'm also going with the Dolphins on this one. I don't know where the Dolphins are going to sit this year. They're still a pretty stacked team, but they're in a tougher division. So we'll see. You got Carolina going into the Aints.
Going with the Aints.
Going with the Aints as well. Giants, Minnesota in New Jersey.
I am going with the Vikings.
I'm also going with the Vikings on this one. You got the Chargers against the Las Vegas Raiders in L.A.
I am going with
I'm so surprised you're saying the Chargers on this one. How could you say the Chargers and go against the Raiders?
Never said that. Thank you. I can't believe that all these people are still picking.
It's Harbaugh.
But I give you credit. I'll give the credit of Harbaugh will make a difference there. He hasn't even had a full year there yet, though.
Oh, yeah. But look what he did with the 49ers when he came in on the first year. But he also came in with a really good team that was just miscoached.
Already ready to go, yeah.
But they were totally miscoached. That's all, and that's what proved it. Yeah, right now on that, 84% of people are picking the Chargers over the Raiders, but I am also picking the Raiders on this one. It's probably surprising. That's one of the few ones that I think is going to be an upset. Denver at Seattle. The debut of Bo Nix.
I'm going with Seattle.
That's right. The downfall of Bo Nix. Yeah, I'm picking Seattle.
I do not believe.
You got Dallas at Cleveland.
I'm going with the Cowboys.
I'm going with the Browns.
I think it's going to be a close game, but I'm going to go with the Cowboys.
I'm going with the Browns in the dog pound because it's in Cleveland. If it wasn't in Cleveland, if it was in Dallas, I probably would have picked the Cowboys. This is one of those ones where I feel like the Browns are... Jesus Christ, Patrick.
It slipped out of my hand.
I know you're falling asleep.
I didn't fall asleep. It fell out of my hand. I was holding it like this with my hand.
We got Washington at Tampa Bay.
I'm going with the Bucks.
Yeah, I'm also going with the Bucks. So it's a rookie quarterback there in Washington as well, right?
Yeah.
What's his name? Starts with a D.
Yeah, I know. I don't know.
Not going to throw the football anymore. Then the Sunday night game of the week is the Rams at Detroit against the Lions.
Well, I'm looking up the QB real quick.
Well, for that game, I am going with Detroit. This is really going to prove for the Lions was last year a fluke. And
Jalen Daniels.
I knew it was with a D. But I think that Detroit is up for it, and I think Detroit's going to be one of the powerhouses of the league.
Well, I'm going to Detroit, too.
Then finally, you got the Jets coming into San Francisco to play the 49ers.
Going with the Niners.
I as well. I'm going with the 49ers. So that's the picks for this week. I'm not sure if there's I really didn't feel like there could be a whole lot of upsets this week out of the ones that are there, because it seems like I don't think the bad teams are going to turn around. And the two games that I was iffy about were the first two of the week because it was really good teams playing against each other. The only other one that I would say is in that realm is that Cleveland-Dallas game where they're both, I think, equally matched to each other.
Yeah, I agree.
And it could go either way.
I'm debating because I have Dallas's defense, and I just don't.
It's going to determine up to two things. What does Dallas's running game look like? I know that Dalvin Cook is going over there, but Dalvin Cook did not do very well once he left Minnesota.
I think, but he shared it with Ezekiel. I think them not taking more than the other. They're splitting it. I think that
if they're going to split it.
Yeah.
And then with the Browns is Deshaun going to start getting back into form?
Yep.
If he does get back into his Houston days, then they're going to be a pretty damn good team, especially since they have a very solid receiving core there, right? Their defense is solid. Regardless of how their offense plays, that defense is a good defense in Cleveland, which is rare to say with a Cleveland Browns team for so many years that they've been terrible, right? And just been kind of the joke of the league.
Yep.
Same thing with Detroit. Detroit, good defense, good offense, But it's really going to come down to, for both of those teams, how do the quarterbacks play? And if Goff has a year like he did last year, Detroit's going to be great.
Yep.
So we'll see what happens with everything. Right, Zach? What's your choice? Who do you think's going to win between? I don't know. I'm trying to look
I'm going with
trash.
Cleveland, the dog pound. I'm a rock.
I'm part of the dog pound. Don't you know?
There's no Canadian Moose League, okay?
That was loud when you dropped your phone. It was pretty loud. When you dropped your phone.
Yeah,
That's what Crystal said.
Well, hit the metal.
Yeah, probably.
Like I had it on my fingers like this, and it just slid right off.
It happens. It happens when you start getting older. Things you just can't hold on to as well as you used to.
Well, I also had surgery on this hand 4 times. 3 times here.
They sliced me up 4 times.
They gave me the knife 4 times. I'm just glad I can still jack off with the hand.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't decide to switch over to the left and just give yourself a stranger the entire time?
Nah. It's uncomfortable.
It's uncomfortable. All right, so let's get into a couple of stories. So, what do you think you would pay for a home down in Los Angeles?
I couldn't even imagine how much they cost.
Well, how about a home that had a tree fall on top of it? Like this.
Okay, well, let me guess. They still want $1.2 million.
No, they want $500,000 for this home as is. That needs the repairs and everything like that. And they do say in the area that the home is there that, and then what I should do for those that aren't, those are listening to this, can't see this, but I can at least show the people that are on Twitch. And we should be watching us on twitch.tv/IBLT podcast every other Saturday when we're there. For some reason, that is not the button because I am under the terrible terror sections. But so there's the house that's there with everything completely crushed. The tree fell over and basically destroyed a bunch of the house. And luckily, nobody was hurt, even though 2 people were inside. I think it was a couple and their 2 dogs were inside the house, but nobody was injured there. And because they're not, it's listed as a 1-bedroom, 1-bath bungalow for $500,000.
Bungalow?
Yeah, because it's missing the whole side of the house now. It's a 100-year-old house in Los Angeles that the tree fell over onto. And so, and there are already offers going on. And this, because of the damage that's there, you cannot take a loan out on the house. You have to pay for it with cash.
Oh, that's stupid.
And the fact that people are still willing to offer $500,000 or more in cash to buy this place is what makes it really ridiculous.
Probably the Chinese.
It's probably international people that's coming in doing it. And that's
what I mean.
That's always the thing. That's always what I've been like, we houses are always going to fluctuate, go up and go down or whatever, but it's the outside entities in a state. The only people that should be allowed to buy a house in any state are the people that live in that state or have lived in the state for X amount of years. Like, you can come in, and if you're going to prove that you're going to work and you need to live here, so you're moving to the state, you can buy a house. Yep. But if you're just living, and that goes for people in California that buy a house to rent out in fucking Idaho, right? You shouldn't be able to do that. It should just be available to the people that live in the area only, or coming in. But it's just like, or at least not international entities that buy up tons of property and then just give it to a property manager and say, do it. And, do it. Get me money. Do it. So I thought that was funny with the whole thing that they're actually going to be trying to sell this house for that. All right. Crazy. So this I wanted to talk about quite a bit, and it was brought up to me too by Mr. Uncle X-Files the last couple of days was there. And we're going to talk about Conor McGregor. We're talking about the game Concord.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Wicked Island expansion.
Yeah, Ito was messaging me on the side about that because they're now up to version 8.3.2.
Is he still playing it?
No, I don't think he is. It is still available on Steam as a demo, though. So if you want to download that demo on Steam, go for it. Go see some Wicked Island there and make yourself a little harem girl that gets fucked by werewolves and I'm not joking, dragons and whatever else is down there, demons and all that shit.
Yep.
And eventually it'll be a real game. Now, the only thing that's, again, it is what it is. You're into those games. You want to play that game, fine, whatever. But it is only being developed by, I think, 2 dudes. And for what I've seen just on, like, viewing the page and this stuff, I'm like, pretty good for 2 dudes.
Yeah.
You know, like, Lethal Company is being done by 1 guy. I mean, I know it's a lot of assets from Unreal and stuff like that, but still, it takes a lot to do something like that and to spend all that time working on that. So, Concord, if you don't know anything about this game, this is probably the only piece of gaming news that we're going to do today, but it's so big that I wanted to make sure we talked about it. This game was a game by Sony. It was announced at the Sony show that they were doing, and it looked like Budget's Guardians of the Galaxy when they showed it off. Basically, they just showed off like this animated cutscene, and it's a hero shooter. And if you don't know what hero shooters are, those are the types of games where it's usually 5v5 or 6v6, and you have a bunch of heroes, and they'll have classes, basically Overwatch, if you've ever seen Overwatch before. So you have tank, healer, and then assault classes, right, or support. And so that's what this was for Sony. And this was supposed to be Sony's thing because Sony at the beginning of the year said that they were going to be producing 12 live service games. And if you know what a live service game, that's basically like your Warzones, your Fortnites, those games where they're free to play. A lot of them are free to play. And then you basically, you support it by buying skins and battle passes and all this other shit. And that's how it pays for the stuff that's there, right? And those ones, as much as some people in the industry will say, well, there's no reason for them to make single-player games anymore. That's not true because single-player games have one development cost, and that's it, right? You produce it, you're done. If you want to add DLC or you want to make small updates, it's a smaller team. It's not all the people that worked on it. Whereas a live service game constantly has people working on it, constantly doing these things, so you're having to pay more to do or pay about the same. Maybe the early development isn't as much, but over the long run, depending on how long the game runs, and not every game is going to be a Fortnite where it makes billions of dollars because kiddies want to, buy the skins that they love.
Uh-oh.
Lucky's on that bottle. Yeah. You forgot about the cat dance.
I don't do anything with cats.
You don't do anything with cats? Oh, okay. You don't like cat girls either.
I take that back.
See, you said you don't do anything with cats. But so Concord was Sony's foray into that world, and they did it with Helldivers, and Helldivers was kind of an anomaly in the world because it was so different from the original. It was so different from the games that came out at the time that they were able to charge $40 for it, and people got really into it. There is a ton of games on the market. And in fact, in December, on the 6th, I believe, is when Marvel Rivals releases for free, and it's basically the same thing, but better. And at least from everybody with the beta tests that going on. I played the beta of this on the PlayStation, and it was okay. It was really slow. Like, slow. I expect these type of games to be relatively fast or have like a sprint button so you can move a little faster in there. It was bad. So they want to charge $40 for this when there's a bunch of free games on the market, and they say that it sold in total. I'm going to have you take a guess of how many games it sold in total between PlayStation and Steam.
We'll go. I don't know. 400?
Oh, it's definitely more than that.
1,000?
It was 25,000 copies, which is nothing in this industry. 25, and that's between the average daily. So there's a page called Steam Charts where you can look at the games that are being played right now and how many people are playing the games. Like one of the things, if you were to look up on Steam Charts that I like to do every now and then, is how many people are playing Suicide Squad. And that, when it debuted, it had 10,000 people playing it on Steam alone. Now, that didn't include Epic. It doesn't include Xbox, PlayStation, all those things. Today, if we were to look it up, it has about 100 people playing concurrently on Steam. So it's a huge drop. And even within a week, it was a huge drop from like 11,000 to like 600 people, and just kept going lower and lower and lower for that game. Because people don't like the cycle of the live cycle. Like, everybody played the story, got through the story, then found out that the last portion of the game, the end game, was all the same shit that you've been doing all along, and they just don't want to do it anymore, right? So Concord, when it debuted on Steam Charts, it had 250 people playing the game. That's it. on Steam charts. It couldn't break the numbers that Suicide Squad was doing for a little while on a daily basis. So Sony decided that they're going to pull the plug. They're refunding everybody's purchase cost, and as of yesterday, September 6th, it is no longer available to play. So it has only been online in total for 9 days.
Not even a month.
Not even a month. For 9 days. They said, we're thinking about retooling, because the big thing that they were going to do with this game was that it was supposed to have like an arching story to the game, and that I think they said like every month or every season or whatever they're going to do, that they would have a brand new cinematic that would progress the story. So you would play it, and then you get to this new cinematic, which gets to the next part of the story to get a new cinematic, to get that type of thing. And that's where a lot of the money was going. This is why you were paying $40 for it. It's because we're going to give you this movie-like experience with the game that you're playing. Kind of like what Blizzard did with like Team Fortress 2, or even what they kind of do with Overwatch every now and then. But again, Blizzard is providing that game for free. It's not, you don't pay $40 for the game. Like even Fortnite, to play the Battle Royale mode, it's free. The only reason that you would pay for it is to get the actual, that Fortnite has a story mode to it that you can do. That's about the building and tower defense and shit like that. So this is like the biggest, absolute biggest fail of 2024 when it comes to games.
Yep.
And it's a mediocre game. It wasn't anything great. It would have been something to try out and be like, oh, if it was free, try it out for a bit. If it doesn't fit you, you just move on. So they don't know what they're going to do. And this studio that I forgot the name of the studio. It's like Fire something Games. They are they're possibly, the rumors are that it may go free to play, and if it goes free to play, that it's going to get a name change so it doesn't fit in the world of Concord. Like, it doesn't have that connotation, because this as failure already has that connotation.
Yeah.
So the other thing that, and I'll switch back to us over here, but the other thing that we want to talk about real fast before I get to the last thing about Conor McGregor and then we talk about Beetlejuice, is that it was announced this week that Linkin Park does have a new singer. A while back ago, the lead singer of Orgy, he came out and he's like, yeah, Linkin Park's getting back together and they have a female singer. And everybody was like, no, there's no way. They're not doing that. And it was announced, 2 days ago, Wednesday?
Yeah, the 5th.
I think it was on the 5th, that they have a new vocalist, and it is the lead singer of Dead Sarah. Which is a band that I think both Patrick and I have seen, but probably don't remember as much because they played Aftershock a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And she's, in my opinion, she's not bad. She's not great. Again, this is like a Scott Weiland situation for me, that I don't think anybody's going to ever be able to fill those shoes. But maybe over time, especially when she starts to do her own thing, unlike STP, which I think has no interest in actually making new records.
They're just going to go off the hits.
They're just going to go off the hits and be like that.
No, when we were there, they said they had a new song.
Did they? I don't think they did.
I could have sworn they said
that was Live. Live had a new song.
Oh,
and Our Lady
you're right.
Peace,
Yeah. That was
Our
Live.
Lady Peace also played a new song too.
Yeah.
But STP didn't. And well, if they did, we weren't there for it because we saw All Purple, and then I think we were walking out to one of the like Wicked Garden or something like that. Because I think we stayed for Plush, but left in the middle of Plush, and then went along our way. But yeah, they do have a new album that's coming, that's being produced, but the original drummer is no longer with the band. He supposedly distanced himself from the band in 2020, and they're like, hey, if you don't want to do it, you don't want to do it. That's fine. We have a new drummer that's there. And then the guitarist is not going to tour with the band.
Yes, yeah, as you were saying that earlier.
He recorded all the new album with the band.
Seems weird.
But he's not going to tour. It could be that he's at his age, he's just like, I just don't want to.
Which is fine, but then it's like you would think whoever's going to be playing it would be the one recording it too.
Well, not always. Remember Five Finger Death Punch? Those guys? Uh-huh. It's the guy that is the main guitarist that's like the dreadlocks and stuff like that. It's his band. He does all the music, and then like the bass player is only a touring bass player. Even though he's in all the promotional photos, he doesn't play on the albums, period. That's all. He just learns the songs and plays them on tour. and that's it. So there are
Interesting.
instances when that stuff happens, but it's rare.
I'll just say this. I've said it on my stream the other night. I mean, I still have to listen a little bit more of what she does because I was at work, so I was skipping through and just listening for certain songs. But I don't understand if you have a male vocalist, why you replace it with a female, vice versa. If you have a female, why you replace it with a male. I feel like she's not going to be able to hit some of the close raspiness of what some of the songs were when Chester was singing. And Chester's Chester. There's no other Chester. There's a reason why they haven't had anybody like Chester since.
I think that it's funny that, and I want to see if you can guess the band. There's only one band, like almost I would say period, maybe two, but even then, like I'm still iffy on it. And I don't know if they've ever recorded anything. But there's only one band that's replaced a singer where the singer is almost identical to the original singer. And it is a rock
Journey?
band. Journey was my maybe because he's not quite, and I don't think he's ever done studio recordings with him. I think he only does touring stuff with him. And he sounds kind of like him, but it is a specific rock band from the 70s.
Oh.
Whose lead singer died. And they came back in the 80s, I believe.
Oh, AC/DC.
That's Brian Scott Bon Scott sounds exactly like Brian, what's his name? I can first.
Yeah.
Like those two sound almost identical in the way that they do their stuff. There is differences, you can hear it, but they're the same to me.
Yeah, no, I got what you're saying. Like I said, once again, my opinion or anybody else's opinion who's not happy about it, don't matter. They're still going to do what they want to do. If you still want to be a fan of it, be a fan.
Yeah, you want to go see it? Go see it. If you don't, you don't.
I personally, like I said, from the songs that I know, I listened and I didn't hear it. I didn't hear it. And like I said, every time she tried to do the raspy part of the song, she sounds more melody, just like a woman singer, because I feel like when the guys sing, they have more of that, like rugged, like that. What's the word I'm looking for? They just like that, like gravel, not gravel.
Yeah, gravelly.
Yeah, kind of gravelly, and women are more smooth and mellow, or melody. Yeah, that's what I heard on a couple parts, but it should have been gravelly. It was smooth and but like I said, that's just my opinion, and I mean, like anything new they come out with is going to be her shit because it's something that Chester was saying before. So that's going to be interesting too. But like, I just don't understand why you didn't stick with a male.
Maybe they just couldn't find somebody that was in the range that he wanted to. Because honestly, it's Mike Shinoda's band. It's kind of always been Mike Shinoda's band. And moving forward with it, and he's the one that put it together with the people that he knew. They had an original singer. It didn't work out. They brought in Chester Bennington, and then Chester Bennington was that missing piece that made the band what they were, right? Mm-hmm. And so it's again, like, I am not the biggest Linkin Park fan in the world, and like we were talking last night, and there's people who probably think it's heresy with me saying it, but like, I really only truly like 2 full albums of theirs, and then I like singles and a couple other songs, but I never had a connection to them that some people have had. Right? There's a lot of people. When you look at comments on these things, they are literally down the middle. You have one comment, "Oh my God, I can't believe it. It's so great." And then you have another comment next that, "Oh my God, they should have never done this. They shouldn't be calling themselves Linkin Park because that's not Chester, and Chester is life." Like, you got to let these people themselves move on, right? It is not their fault that he did what he did. And I'm not blaming him or doing any victim shaming or anything like that. But if they wish to move on, and not move on, but they wish to move forward, they're allowed to. And they can use the name because they are Linkin Park too. It's not just Chester. He is not just Linkin Park. You know, it's like Stone Temple Pilots. Scott Weiland is not Stone Temple Pilots, right? And he got kicked out 3 fucking times from that band, right? And it's the same thing with 3 Days Grace with what's his name? I always forget the lead singer's name of the band. Like, he did 4 full albums with them and moved on, and they're still 3 Days Grace, and they've got a singer that's very similar but not exact, right?
No.
But can do those. But you know, he's got his own thing that he's doing now. It's just that, and I get it with the people that are really deeply connected to stuff, but I think also people shouldn't be assholes, because I saw some people that was like, oh, an announcement for a band that I could give 1 step fuck about. And I'm just like, so you never liked Linkin Park. The people that do, like, let them like what they like, you know? I don't give a shit. If you get fucking excited about something, don't try to shit on the parade. Oh, I know what it was. I saw it on Facebook. It said, Mark Safe from band I don't care about reuniting with a brand new singer. And it's like, really? Like, you're going to be that much of a dick?
Yeah.
Like, I don't need to know your opinion on that. Like, why can't you just keep that shit to yourself? Because there's people that do care about it. Yep. There's shit that you post about your kind of shitty local band that you think is the tits that, you know what, you guys are kind of shitty, to be honest with you. And you have the same solo styling in every fucking song you do. That's just it. And you haven't done anything with that band in 10 years. And you still talk about like it's like the biggest thing in the world. You know, the Cousins of Destruction. Hey, what's going on, Aaron? Hi, Mr. L. So I think it's a good thing. And, you know, it's going to be cool. And I bet you next year you're going to see a lot more, like you're going to see touring information about Linkin Park, and I wouldn't be surprised if in a lot of the big festivals that are happening throughout the country they'll be on those shows. Like, I'm not going to say that Aftershock will announce that next year's Aftershock will be Linkin Park, but I wouldn't be surprised if you had some of those big festivals like that, like Rocklahoma and Sonic Temple and Incarceration or stuff like that, where they're not doing, like, there may be a tour of sorts, like a small tour, but I think that the festival circuit is where they might live next year, because it seems when any band gets back together, that's what they do, right? Because it's easy enough to reach a ton of people and for a bunch of people to see that band.
Yeah.
Right? You know, Aftershock is 20-something thousand. And it's funny because, you know, Josh was talking about, have you ever been to a sold-out thing? And I've been to 4 sold-out Aftershocks. The thing is the place can fit much more people, but the show itself is completely sold out with 30,000 people there. You know, and it's just spread out amongst all the stages and everything that's there. So it's interesting. Like I said, I think it's interesting. I think it there were songs that she nailed. Project Revolution, maybe Linkin Park headline tour. It's a possibility. Maybe they do something like that. Like I said, I think that, you know, the songs that I really liked her on, and the other ones where, like, for example, and again, I'm not saying she needs to hold up to Chester's, like,
well, like I said,
what she's not him.
That's a 1 in a million voice that is not going to get replicated. It would be
the same thing putting Chris Cornell and
trying
to replace Chris Cornell. It's another one in generation voice. But like Bleed It Out, she didn't do the long scream.
Yeah.
I don't expect her to, but you know, maybe with time as she does more and more live shows, and I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt. It's the first live show that she's done with them in front of their crowd. The nerves have to be running hard with you at that point, right? Because you do have something to live up to for a lot of people that have such a deep connection to that band.
Yeah, I see that. Like I said, I just I'll keep an open mind about the whole thing. Like I said, I have to go back
more.
and
just have to hear more.
Exactly. But like I said, that's just my biggest issue I had was replacing him with a female singer, when I feel like, especially their type of, the person who's doing the singing, once again, I get it, 1 in a million lifetime voice and whatever, a male would be able to get way closer to hitting what he was doing and sound similar than a female. And I feel like I said, I flip it around the other way. Amy Lee.
See, that one's hard because Evanescence is Amy Lee. Like, that is she is just the band. Like,
But,
everybody else are just touring musicians, and she's the band. So you
so-
can't. I would choose a different band.
Well, either way, I'm just saying, like, trying to get a voice
Right.
similar to hers as a guy, it's going to be a lot harder to do than just getting another
I
female.
totally agree, because that's different. But I do think there is, and just to play devil's advocate with this, not saying that I don't agree with you in your statement, but the devil's advocate side of it is that Chester is a very higher pitch voice, and a female voice can accompany that better. But there aren't many high-pitched males that sing so well that would be able to. That's why I say, like, replacing, even putting Chester in with Chris Cornell, it would never work. Like, if Chester if he was alive and he went to Soundgarden, it worked with STP because he really was able to hit the range of Scott Weiland, right? But if you put him, Chris Cornell is such an interesting voice, and that's the thing. It's the more interesting the voice is, the harder it is to replicate. Mm-hmm. But you want somebody that's similar, but they don't have to be an imitator. And that's like with Stone Temple Pilots, I have to keep going back to that one, is that the guy that they have is kind of an imitator of Scott Weiland. Even to the way that he performs on stage now, it looks like he's fucking Scott Weiland out there doing all this stuff that he's doing. So, Flyleaf, Lacuna Coil, I could see. Spirit Box, she's a growler, like a real big growler, like not like a yeller. She's a.
But like, give you a Flyleaf, or give me Lacuna Coil, give me Spirit Box. I would not want to hear a male vocalist in those bands. I want a female vocalist.
You could
for
hear
those
Lacuna
songs.
Coil because there's already a male vocalist in Lacuna Coil.
I know that, but what I'm saying is that lead.
No. Well, they're technically both leads.
Yeah, whatever. I like her better, so.
But
she's the lead.
She's also hotter.
Well, I mean,
Have you been up close to her? She's fucking hot.
I'm not saying she's
It's
not.
like
I'm saying
Shirley
that
Manson.
you're like.
That's a great example. If they did Garbage, if Garbage was to replace Shirley Manson died, you couldn't replace her with a male singer.
Yeah.
Like that's a good one there because she's not just, it's a whole band that you got there.
Yeah. What's going on in the chat?
No, they're just talking. Linkin Park is going to turn to Skillet. No, it's not going to turn
Who
to
said
fucking
that?
Skillet. That was Arrow. Arrow's fucking high.
Anyways.
No, that's what they're saying. Lacuna Coil, Spirit Box, Flyleaf, the stuff that I had said before. Yeah. So, like I said, I'm interested to see where it goes. I will probably check out that album when it's released just to hear it and see. Like, I kind of like the new song that they played at the beginning of the show. But again, I want to hear. And I heard a recorded version as they've done like things out there, and it's not bad. It's not bad. There's a lot of other things that I can talk with you offline about because I don't want to get into it here. Regarding the singer, but it's interesting to see what they're doing. Okay, so for the last story before we talk about our spoiler-free review of Beetlejuice, oh, by the way, Arrow, Kitty and I may be going to New York in 9 days. That's what he said.
In New York,
all right,
something meeting up with Arrow. Oh,
hanging in New York. So
finally getting to meet the funeral bay
here in New York.
We'll go get some hot dogs, hit the subway in New York.
See the rats delivering their turtle babies pizza in New York.
They can all hit the strip club with Arrow.
I'm trying to get to the last story. Shut the fuck up.
In New York.
Anyway, in our last story, in Conor McGregor news, have you heard the Conor McGregor news?
In UFC news.
Shut up.
I have
not. So Conor McGregor is now scrapping his return to UFC.
Why?
Well, what would be the reason? Why do you think?
He's a movie star now because of Roadhouse.
No.
Oh.
He's not.
He got arrested again.
Nope, he didn't.
He got a bitch pregnant.
Nope, that's not quite close.
He identifies as a female?
No. He wants to identify as the president of Ireland. So he's going to run for president of Ireland in 2025. So he's
Can
going to
you
be
imagine?
scrapping his UFC comeback.
Can
And I'm
you
going to show
see-
the article to everybody
Hey,
that's
fuck
out
it.
there.
Go for it, bro. Can you like when you go for that debate, you come walking out. Hey there, laddies. I'm here running for president, and all of a sudden you Conor McGregor.
So he put, as president, I hold the power to summon the dial as well as dissolve it. So as I said before, I would have all the answers of the people of Ireland seek from these thieves of working man, these disruptors of the family unit, these destructors of small business, and on and on.
Man, I was looking forward to that comeback fight too.
Yep, fed up with the charlatans in charge of his native Ireland, the former UFC 2-division champion plans to enter the political arena in 2025 to shake up the establishment, or is to dissolve it completely and give the power back to the working class. So he's ready, that's basically what he's deciding to do with the whole thing. So
good on him.
charlatans in
Fuck
the
it.
position. But hey, I thought that was fucking hilarious that he decided
Free.
to...
All right, laddies, free corned beef and hash for everybody.
I don't even think that's an Irish thing, corned beef hash. I think that's an American thing.
It's American Irish.
If anything, they're going to have haggis.
No, that's Scottish.
Okay, so they're just going to enjoy some boiled potatoes.
You know who's having haggis? Boney.
I opened the parcel, and it was a dildo.
Dildo.
I don't have a soundbite for that.
My dog Boney.
What you got there, Bonnie?
I was trying to eat my haggis and my dog Boney.
Haggis is so, just not kosher at all.
Oh yeah.
The sheep stomach boiled and sliced and
Yeah.
put on toast or some shit like that. You know what? Okay, so the other day I was watching some, I think I got off stream and I was working on something. Oh, I was working on the Cat Daddy music video. That's right. When I was watching this. And so when I was working on that, I had a YouTube video on the side, and it was of the streamers I watch, and they were doing a French food tier list. Mm-hmm. And I thought it was like French toast tier list, like they're going to try different styles of French toast. And I was like, oh, that sounds pretty good. But they did all this it was French food instead.
No. Oh, you thought we were doing the French toast with the butter sugar. No, get that out of my face. We were talking about the French appetite, the French cuisine, no?
Everything looked delicious with the exception of two things.
Was it the frog legs in the escargot?
It was just the escargot.
Oh, it's the escargot.
Which they said that was probably one of the top tier dishes that they had.
Come to France and eat the escargot and smelly men and women who all have hair under armpit. And that turned Russian. I don't know why.
Doesn't creme brulee sound really good right now?
Creme brulee? I don't think I've
Never had creme brulee before?
No.
That's one of the best French desserts there is. It's just custard.
What about me says French cuisine?
They have creme brulee at other places.
I'm not saying they don't, but I'm just saying, what about me, other than a French
Y'all
baguette?
ridiculous accent.
I will have the French toast and the French fry and our French kiss, but fuck the...
Arrow is saying escargot is delicious, but he's not a fan of their cheeses, though it stinks. But tiramisu is Italian.
Yeah, tiramisu's Italian.
That's definitely Italian. But no, so they had that in crepes. Creme brulee. So it's basically just custard, and then you take a blowtorch to the top of the custard so that you've basically crystallized the sugar on the top, and then you just break in the sugar and you eat the custard.
I still never have eat. I mean, I'm not saying I would never try it.
It is very good.
But see, I don't do it. The thing about I don't do it on that of the desserts.
But they showed this sea bass dish. They had ratatouille with salmon on top.
I want to try ratatouille.
Yeah. What I'm trying to say is that I was so enamored by the French food that was in this that I want to go out and have French food. I was like, all that looks so good. Where there's a French restaurant around.
You know, like the hipsters here do the avocado toast.
Uh-huh.
Do you think the hipsters over in French do like baguette and avocado?
Avocado baguette?
Yeah.
No, they do probably some other hipster thing. It's usually
sun-dried
cheese
tomatoes and baguette.
Actually, it's a lot of things on toast because I think even they did they had mussels on toasted baguettes, and the escargot was served with toasted baguettes.
But they make it like a spread though, don't they?
No. They were just like, it was like mussel, and you pull the mussel out of the shell
So,
and you put it on the thing.
they're trying to copy the Mexicans like if it was a tortilla.
How is that copying Mexicans when it's a completely different thing?
Using a bread, in a sense, a tortilla.
It's not bread, it's a tortilla.
It's flour, okay? Using a flour utensil.
Not if you're using corn tortillas. Oh, got you there.
Either way, you take it, you form it into...
Avocado bacon, avocado toast.
Either way, you can make bread out of corn or the flour. So either way, bread.
Your wife's a hipster.
What'd she say?
She said avocado toast with
Oh,
bacon.
no, she does. I know she does that. She's not a hipster.
She's bougie. Okay, I get
bougie.
it. She's ghetto bougie.
She's R-word bougie.
She's making all of her avocado toasts while wearing all of her horror shit that she's got on. Hair unkempt, cat running around in the background. But shit, I got nice looking avocado toast with bacon. First of all, you're gonna have to throw
that forever.
You can just give me toast with bacon and toss that avocado right out the fucking window, right, Charlie? Charlie says yes.
Charlie's like, I want some motherfucking avocado.
No,
in
she
this
doesn't.
Bitch.
She wants some attention, is what she wants. Yeah, you can hear her.
Yeah. Who's the real cat daddy, bitch? The cats at my house will come running up to me. Meow, meow.
You're the one that's always trying to get them.
That's all.
Have them on
you.
Have them on your lap and like getting mad when they won't pay attention to me. I feed you. I do all this stuff. You guys don't give me any attention.
I don't feed them.
That's why they're not on top of you, because she probably wants food, to be honest with you. That's the reason why cats will be loving and attentive all the time.
That's the only time Crystal gets on me.
She's chiming in with her opinion. That's the only time Crystal gives you attention? That's when she wants food?
Exactly.
Say hi to everybody, Charlie. Yeah, hi.
Anyways. See Ito? Cat daddy.
What are you talking about? There's no Ito out there.
I thought Ito was in there.
No, that's just Crystal, like, saying yes. You're
we'll
the cat
clip
daddy.
that for him. Oh, yes, you can't clip because we're not.
We're not. The other people can. But anyway, so
not can you clip if you're not affiliated?
Yeah, you can always clip. You can make clips. But anyway,
and no one made a clip of the whole New York song part.
No, because people are bastards.
Oh my God!
What? It's just the way that it rolls. She says can't. I thought that she.
Yeah, see, there's no option on there.
Right there. See, it says clip right there.
You're right. Crystal's dumb. What's up, Charles?
It says that you can't.
Zach.
Okay.
Anyways.
Well, do it on a PC because there's the clip.
Right.
Like I've proven it at least that way. Mine says that you don't have permission, but Mr. L does. Maybe it's only moderators that have clips. Bitches limited me. But nonetheless, so now the last thing before we go is this is our spoiler-free review of Beetlejuice, and to get ideas and remember, we're going to rate it 3 out of 5 or whatever out of 5 for whatever we're doing.
Maybe it's nostalgia or whatever, but I'm writing it a 4 out of 5.
So
I had a lot of fun.
I guess I
with
reruined my. It's 3 out of 5 for me.
You just said it.
I said we're gonna rate it 3 out of 5.
Oh.
Like I meant we were gonna rate it out of 5, and I said 3 out of 5.
Okay, yeah. See, that's why I'm like.
That's why I was like, oh, I fucked up.
Yeah.
I admit when I'm wrong.
No. I thought you were saying I fucked up for a second, and then I realized.
No.
I see what you're
me
saying.
that fucked up.
Yeah.
Right, Zach? Him and his dog
Look,
ass over here.
It's fun. It's. I almost.
It's nostalgic.
There was a character I really liked outside, and basically had no fucking lines. You know who you're talking about?
Well, you could say it. He's in the trailer. That's Bob.
Yeah, Bob.
Bob's one of the shrunken head guys that you see from the trailer.
Yeah,
that
Bob
looks
was.
like
I love Bob.
Well, everybody loves. I think that's one of those characters that everybody really likes.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the plush doll of Bob to come out. I'm gonna buy it.
There's probably gonna be like a pop of Bob.
Yeah, or something
that'll come out for that.
But like I said, like we talked about, it did seem like they tried to throw too many plot lines into it at once, and part of it could have been definitely cut out of it, and And I'll just say this, I'm really, so it's not really a spoiler. We know why they're in the trailer. They're there because
because it's
Charles Dietz is dead. But I'm still surprised, and we kind of talked about it, that they use his image.
Yeah,
I was still surprised they used his image because there's
Jeffrey
a reason
Jones. If you don't know who Jeffrey Jones is, go look him up. I'm not going to explain the stuff that he did. He's a bastard. But they used his image, like his visage, constantly through the movie, and it fits for the movie. I'm glad that they did that in it because that character is a big part of the original movie as well. But, I just hope that, as we talked, I think they own the rights to his image, not him portraying it, so they could show it.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't ever him, right? It was like old versions of him from back in the original Beetlejuice.
Yeah. So, I mean, he was good in Howard the Duck, though.
Oh, yeah. Well, he was good in a lot of things. Good in Ferris Bueller's Days Off, So, yeah, I think in general the movie is funny. It has one character I absolutely hate and is cringy as fuck, and I'm not going to say who that is. But at least I know a lot of people have seen like indifferent about Catherine O'Hara in this movie. I fucking love Delia in this movie. She was one of my favorite parts of this movie.
I think it's because people forgot how Delia Dietz was in the original.
And for some reason, when I was recording my review, I think I called her parents, but they're her aunt and uncle, right?
Who?
Lydia's.
No. That's her dad.
Right, that's what I thought.
But that's her stepmom.
That's what it is. Yeah. Okay, I couldn't remember. I called her mom, so people are gonna, if they're gonna correct me, whatever it is.
That's because she
calls her Delia.
Delia, yeah.
But yeah, I think that overall, of course, Beetlejuice steals the movie. Any scene that he's in, that without it. But I think that the only person out of the main cast that felt a little out of place to me at times, and it was surprising, was Winona Ryder. I think that she didn't quite capture the Lydia of old, and I think partially is because I loved the Lydia on the cartoon way back in the day. Like, I loved the Beetlejuice cartoon. The Beetlejuice cartoon was something I always was looking forward to whenever it would come up.
Speaking of the theme song,
right?
At the beginning, was that more the theme song from the cartoon than it was the actual?
No, it was the same. But it was a modified version. It still was Danny Elfman's theme.
Yeah.
But because I even for the cartoon, Danny Elfman did the song for the cartoon.
Okay.
So, but like I said, it was fun. I think that we both, and even somebody I watched a review after I recorded mine, because I don't watch any of that until I've done it. Even they like spot on the same thing that we said when we got out of the movie. There are just too many goddamn storylines that get wrapped up too easily at the end.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say what they are. You just have to kind of go in and see it. But I was just like, they could have really honed down on one main storyline that is present in this movie and just made that the whole thing. Yeah. And I think that would have been, and I'll tell you what that, if you probably know what it is, but I'll tell you what it is after we get off the podcast, because I don't want to ruin anything for the plot. But if you love the original Beetlejuice, I think that you're going to have a good time.
Yes.
You've waited 36 years for this to come out, and I think it's worth it. And the thing is it was Beetlejuice Goes Hawaiian was the original sequel that they were supposed to do, but way back in the day. And I didn't notice any Easter eggs towards that. I was hoping there was going to. But the thing is they do nostalgic things in this movie without it being like, hey, remember this? Hey, remember that? Hey, it's like background stuff that you've seen. You're like, oh, shit, it's that. Oh, it's that. Oh, it's that. It's not like in some of the ones where it's member berries. Here, we're going to hand this to you. Remember this? That was just like me picking up the cat. They're going to pick the cat up and put it in your face. There. Collective IBLT podcast rating, 3.5 out of 5. Yep. Yeah, and I like the little animated bit that they did in the beginning of the movie. And a lot of the effects were pretty good. There was one effect that I thought the idea was interesting, but the execution wasn't very good.
Okay.
And that was towards the end of the movie. And so, a 3 out of 5 is solid for me. 3 out of 5 sandworms is what I called it.
Yeah.
So, fun. I think, again, if you're interested in seeing it and you love the original Beetlejuice, I think you're going to have a good time.
Yep. I agree completely. It's fun. It makes you laugh. they get their dirty jokes in, and
There was just one censored word that I was like surprised with
yeah.
out of the whole thing.
Well, like even that character that you were
I
talking
think
about
it's a joke.
that you didn't like, at least his thing had a purpose
Right, but I felt like
more than
that was one of the characters that could have been axed from the movie entirely. Because that was yet another plot thread and yet another antagonist in this movie. Like that was the problem I had, the biggest problem. That's why I couldn't go to a 4. Like if I'm just like, did I really enjoy it? It's a 4. But if I look at it a little critically, it's the 3 for me.
I feel you
For that. So
it didn't bug me as much.
check
as
out the Borderlands movie. No, I don't think it's available to stream for free, is it? The Borderlands movie? I thought it's only VOD.
Where's it going?
I have no idea.
Wasn't it going to like the cock or something?
Is it going to the cock?
Let's see.
Let's see where to watch.
Um,
It is available from streaming on YouTube, Google Play, Apple TV, Fandango at home.
but all for $20.
All for $20, and I'm not really going to pay for it. Let's see if I can type in streaming. Justwatch.com is probably my favorite place to go to find out where can you watch it. There is no place currently for free to watch it. So when it's available for quote unquote free, I will watch it. I will not spend time renting it for $20 or buying it for $25. So when the discount count,
They're trying to get their money's worth.
so Josh and Alex gonna watch it tomorrow. They think.
Oh, well.
I just wouldn't spend $20 on it, guys. Like, I would almost hold off.
Yeah.
You're gonna be mad if you spent that much money and it's as bad as everybody says.
Real quick, since we got you on here, you don't have to discuss it because obviously you're going to do that on your podcast, the PTO Unlimited podcast.
Mm-hmm.
But have you guys watched Godzilla -1 yet?
Yeah, because weren't they supposed to do an episode this week?
I think they're doing it next week.
Oh, I thought that there was supposed to be one on Monday for some reason. Maybe I'm off a week
I think they took it off if it was because of
Labor Day.
yeah,
Probably. So
because they have both the I think they have like 3 versions on there. The original one that we saw in
they
Japanese,
and they have the one in
the
English,
black and white.
Yeah, the -1 minus color.
Yeah, -1 and they have the dubbed.
Yeah, so you can see it all, but you should watch it in Japanese.
Yeah, I will admit that too. As a guy who doesn't like subtitles, you should watch it in Japanese.
Yeah, you should watch every Godzilla movie in Japanese, just so it's not like all weird.
I'd rather watch.
You got to support small studios with independent actors named Jack Black, Kevin Hart, Jamie Lee Curtis, and
Kate Blanchett.
I want to say Kate Winslet, but that's not true. Yeah, and what's her name that played Moxie? She's a famous actress too. You know what's funny? Speaking of things, so on Prime Gaming, out of all things, Borderlands 2 and Borderlands the pre-sequel were available for PC for download for free. So I download them on the PC. But I don't think those ones have crossplay. I think only Borderlands 3 has crossplay enabled on it, which I'm still waiting for one to be free. But that one, even on Steam, is like, for the complete collection that includes every piece of DLC that's been released for that game, it's $25. Mm-hmm. That's just not that bad. It'd be worth it. That's why I was saying if everybody wanted to do 3, we could do 3 because I'd be willing. And that is crossplay enabled, where you can play with everybody else. So, anything else left to say before we start doing some plugs?
Nope.
Any shout outs you got out there?
No. I think I did my shout outs. I shout out.
I want to shout out my proctologist. I saw. Normally I don't watch these videos, but I thought it was funny. Usually when it's like,
if I read that right, this says Go Raiders.
No,
gotcha, Mr. L.
No, it says Go 49ers.
Oh,
but it was funny. I was watching a video on TikTok this morning when I got up, and there was a lady. She's like, "Yeah, me and my bestie, we've done for the last 3 years. We go and get ourselves our nails done between, And she's like, and I'm like, she's like cute and bubbly and bright and likes bright colors, and I'm like, dark, but I'm still kind of bubbly with the whole thing. And so I don't know what she's going to give me for my nails. And so then the next thing it cuts and she has her nails dry, she takes them out and she's got green, then 2 pink, 1 brown.
Hey, Crystal, what you should do is start... That's stupid. You should start the oven up so we can start making those pizzas. I got to do that review.
Pizza rolls?
No.
Oh, or the pizza bagels? Because you know when pizza's on a bagel, you can eat pizza anytime. Did you get any pizza bagel bites?
Ask Crystal, she bought them all.
How many pizzas do you got?
I think she got like 4.
That's it?
Or 5.
Wow.
Ask her.
Crystal, did you get the Mama Celeste? Because if you didn't get the Mama Celeste, those were only $1. And they're available everywhere. And they're small. They're like this. God, you gotta just hire me to go out and shop for these things.
I probably should.
You know, just give me like, gas and a soda and like $20 to buy the pizzas, and I'll get you everything that you need. Of course, it's probably no.
What she said?
I
No.
did not get fucking Mama Celeste. Come on, it's the cheapest one.
If I should have told her to stop by at school and get a pizza from the school.
I think you can go up to fucking 7-Eleven here and get 4 different types of frozen fucking pizzas at the place.
It's true.
And I bet you they have Mama fucking Celeste as well. Tombstone, Jack's DiGiorno, local brand, Red Baron, and I can keep going. It's taking all the... How... Mama Celeste is that fucking big. That big. That's going to take all...
We also have the mini fridge.
And you also have Brian that could have stored some of the fucking pizzas for you.
Thank you.
And space in his freezer. Jesus Christ. I might have a... Do I? No, I don't. I'd actually... But I say, I might have a Costco French bread pizza I could have given you that you could have taken, but I think I'm out. Completely.
It's funny because one of the pizzas she got was a Tostino's. She goes, I don't know why I got a Tostino's. You're probably going to be biased to that one.
Oh, jeez. Is she going to do, like, blind taste test? Like, is she going to blindfold you and then give you the slice? So
I don't know. Well, it's not me guessing it. It's just...
No. It's just so that you can taste them and be like, I rate this one a 4 out of 5. Like, it's a blind taste test. So you don't know what pizza's which.
I mean, the way Ito did it was just to try a bunch of different ones and see which one you like the best. Okay.
But if you know this one's Tostino's and that's like your favorite frozen pizza, then you are gonna be biased. And you're gonna say that's the best one. Tostinos, tomato, Vikings 49ers. It's all the same fucking thing. Anyway, we should be heading out of here with everything. So if you want to follow the podcast as we close everything up, we are available on Twitter at IBLT Podcast, email IBLTpodcast@gmail.com, Instagram IBLT Podcast, twitch.tv/IBLT Podcast, where you can be involved every other Saturday, just like everybody in the chat was for the recording of this episode. Come by and see us, and don't be like Ito Ramos, Mr. Uncle X-Files, the real Uncle X-Files, where he shows up at the last possible minute or doesn't show at all, and come and join the stream. And
don't forget IBLTpodcast@gmail.com.
I did say that.
We're waiting for those real or fakes, ladies.
Yeah, real or fake ball cleavage. That's what.
Oh no, that's what terrible. Send that to T_T_podcast.
Did you put your testicles on my drum kit? Like, it was funny before the movie started. They had these. What movies do you quote the most? And he's like Step Brothers, and he says like something. Oh, Cops is on Tuesdays or something.
Yeah, Cops are on at 3 at Tuesdays.
I'm like, that's not your favorite quote from Step Brothers. You're just being PG for this.
Yeah, right.
You know. But yeah, you can find us on things like Spreaker, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all the major platforms. Pandora is probably the place for most people find the podcast, which is really weird. Yeah. So I guess we're in some Pandora feed where we pop up and people listen to us. So thank you. We appreciate it. Patrick, if people want to follow you out there.
You guys, Solus64 on YouTube, Solus_64 on TikTok. You can follow me on Twitch at Solus_64. And that's pretty much where you can get me.
Of course, the moment that you're going to make or have me do my plugs.
I could have said, hey, Brian, where could they find you and talk about your... And I could have spread it out, but you ruined it. So. Okay,
well, I ruined everything. You can find me out there, Twitter, T_T_podcast is mainly where if I'm posting anything, that's where you're going to find that stuff. I do another Twitter that's a personal one, but I don't even use that anymore. I'm like the other Toolbert, and I'm just holding on to it at this point.
So T_podcast on Twitter is where they can find you and your pictures of all your guns, your flashing your arms.
No, you can just find me posting stuff about the podcast or my Twitch streams. It's basically all it's being used for right now. YouTube, you can find me there at if you want to go to all the concert footage. That is Toolbert, spelled regular, and Terrible Terror Podcast for all the podcast related stuff. Again, I've begun uploading the podcast to YouTube as well. So if you're not catching the podcast on your podcasting platforms, you can listen to it on YouTube if you want.
We did watch another movie.
Oh, we did. We did watch Cocaine Werewolf, but I did a review, so go check that out.
Yes.
Which is available on YouTube as well as the other stuff that's out there. Then you've also have TikTok if you want to see the Cat Daddy music video for Patrick's hit song that he's got going on.
Dong?
His hit song, I said. That he's got where he recorded it in secret and he made a music video.
Yeah.
Where it's got some excellent effects there at the end as he morphs into a cat.
Once again, you should have had me morph into one of my cats.
There wasn't a good enough picture for one of your cats, and I was trying to do this as secretive as I possibly can, which worked. And then, so you can go Terrible Terror Podcast up there on the TikToks. Twitch.tv/Terrible Terrors, where Monday I'll be playing the casting of Frank Stone. It will be an early stream. I'll probably be on about noon my time, because there is a 49er game in the evening. During that time, I would be normally streaming. So.
Just so everybody knows, I'm scrolling through TikTok and just happened to come across this stupid video that Brian decided to make.
I tagged you.
And from
too.
but I hadn't clicked on it yet. Oh. I just was scrolling and it came up. And so from the bathroom where I'm taking a dump, I yell to Crystal, "I'm going to fucking kill your cousin."
Well, it was an emergency, but it wasn't Dr. Beats, Mr.
It's true. It's true. It wasn't that much of an emergency. We did not have to page Dr. Beats.
I could have done that at the beginning, just snuck that in. It goes, emergency, emergency. But no. And then if you want to check out all the AI songs, which is a lot of the stuff that I've been putting on these things of time, so that way, one, doesn't get us flagged, two, that it's there. That's suno.com/@terribleterrors. That's there. And then the latest episode of the Terrible Terror Podcast is going to be on Death Factory, because I talked about it in the last episode. This is a very cheesy movie.
I thought you did Death Factory.
I've never done Death Factory. I had, way back in the day, we were going to talk about it. I was going to talk about it with Richard, when Richard was on it for the very first time, and I made him watch it, and then we didn't talk about it. And then he's like, "Oh, well, I thought we were going to," so I watched it, and we talked about it for a second. I've mentioned it, but I've never done a whole episode on it. Mentioned it multiple times. I even mentioned it in the last episode, too.
I think I've seen it.
With Ron Jeremy?
Yes.
I'm to doubt if anybody has seen this movie besides me.
What's the one that has something about the factory? It wasn't, oh my God, I went blank on his name. Freddy Krueger.
Oh, no, it's not Robert Englund. That's not the one that you're thinking about. That one it's the one where he's the old man, the evil machine, the possessed machine in the factory.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not this one.
Oh, that's what I was thinking of.
Death Factory. I did do that movie, which I can't remember the name of it. It starts the M. It's the
Mangler.
Mangler. That's the one that was. I was like, oh, the
That's the one. Okay, that's the one I saw.
But
I know of Death Factory too, but I've never seen it.
Oh, he said he's got something for us to review. It's called Cheesy Smoked Pizza Dip. He sent it on Instagram. He sent it into the Discord. Arrow did.
Oh, okay.
And tagged us in. So it's something, I guess, to check out. And Crystal, of course, fat ass over there, says it sounds yummy. Because we're not fat. And we wouldn't be interested in that shit at all. We want only healthy stuff. But yeah, so Death Factory. It is a really bare bones, basic bitch movie that literally at one point, Kat and I found it in a Hollywood video. And because it said starring Ron Jeremy, we decided to rent it and watch it. And it's one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
If you want to do movies with Ron Jeremy, I got a good one for you.
What, Orgasmo?
Yes.
How did I guess it was going to be that?
And Choter Boy.
All right, well, thank you guys.
I still can't believe Quentin's never seen that movie. I gotta send that movie to him.
You should. Send him a copy for his birthday next year.
I should.
But yeah, we'll see everybody out there on the Twitch stream, you guys, to make sure you have yourselves a wonderful rest of your day with everything that you do.
With rainbows and sunshines.